This video, I will be teaching you a different way of playing chess, and this way, we will be having a very simple plan. Instead of attacking the opponent and trying to win, we will be waiting for the opponent to self-destruct, to make a mistake and to throw away the game. Because if you currently are below 2000 rating, which is 99% of chess players, you can trust me on this. Your opponent is going to make a mistake. They will miss a checkmate, they will give away a piece, they will give away a pawn, they will make a sacrifice that doesn't work. So why should you try to attack them if they are just going to give you something for free anyways? We just need to keep our eyes open and make sure that we don't blunder first. So for the opening, this is my advice. You can use my strategy no matter what opening you play, white or black. But for the opening, I try to keep things incredibly simple. I put a pawn in the center, I protect it with a different pawn, I develop my kingside pieces first, my kingside knight, my kingside bishop, and I castle. This is more than enough, even to beat a 2300 rated, which I will demonstrate here. So this is the start. The funny thing is, the opponent here has actually completely copied everything that we are doing, every move so far, but that's not a problem. All right, so why to play? What we want to do is we want to use what I call the CCTO strategy. This stands for checks, captures, threats, optimization. So we look at checks, captures, and threats first. Why do we do this? We are waiting for the opponent to make a mistake. And if they make a mistake, it's because of a check, a capture, or a threat that we will be able to win something. So we need to look at this first. So we have a check that's useless. We give away a bishop. We have a capture, the same. And we don't really have a threat. A threat would be like attacking a knight with a pawn or something like that. Or doing a fork, something like this. It would be a threat. So we don't have checks, captures, or threats, which is very common in the beginning of the game. So then you need to optimize, CCTO. Optimize means you want to improve your pieces, the pieces on the back rank, or you want to play with the E pawn, D pawn, and C pawn. This is all we need to do. Play with these three pawns, move our pieces, keep improving them, and wait for the opponent to make a mistake. So I'll just play something like knight to d2, which improves my position. All right, and the opponent plays knight to c6. And basically the entire game, we will be using this CCTO strategy to figure out, did the opponent make a mistake on the last move, yes or no? And if they did, we should punish it. Very important, before we do this CCTO, is that we do a blunder prevention check, which means that we look at their last move and we try to figure out like what's going on. Why are they playing this move? What are they trying to do? Well, the easiest way to figure this out is actually to drag and draw the arrows to see where their piece can go in the future. So this move might lead to them playing knight b4, attacking the bishop, and it might lead to them trying to play e5 and maybe e4 to see if they can fork my pieces. All right. We need to look at this first, at their move, because we don't want to be the one that blunders first. Otherwise, there is no point in using this strategy. Okay, I already know what I will do here. I will optimize. I will play c4. This is a good move because if they go knight b4, there is this genius move, bishop back to b1, which saves the bishop. We will chase away the knight later, and we can put the queen here. And who knows, maybe there will be some type of checkmate there. This move also makes e5 quite a bad move, because if they play e5, suddenly their center will start collapsing. And this is quite a tricky position to play for black. So following the basic strategy, we want to use the E pawn, D pawn, and C pawn, and we want to optimize pieces. Okay. Our opponent makes a simple pawn move here, so I'm not worried about anything. This is not threatening something. They just want to develop. So CCTO, checks, captures, threats. I don't see much. Optimize. Let's get this rook into the game. Rook to e1. This rook has been improved. All right. They play h6. Again, not a move I am worried about. So we go to the CCTO step. And you really need to do this every single move during your game. CCTO. If you think I won't have time for this, stop playing Blitz, play rapid games. If you still think you don't have enough time, play 15 plus 10 rapid games. You will have enough time to do this. So no checks. We do have captures, but the captures that we have are just equal exchanges. And with this strategy, you don't want to play a useless check. You don't want to do an equal exchange or a bad exchange. So I don't see anything. We still don't really have any threats. Well, actually, we have one threat. Queen a4 would be a threat. This would threaten to win the knight on the next move. But it's such a useless threat because they just play bishop b7, which was their plan anyways. And yeah, or queen is now a bit stranded on a4. So time to optimize. Well, optimize means getting pieces into the game. Which is our worst piece? Well, I think it's this bishop. We really want to get this bishop into the game. How can we do that? It probably won't be activated here anytime soon. So I think I will play the move b3. This does somewhat break our rule that we want to focus on the E, D, and C pawn, but this move is very important in this position because otherwise this bishop will have no future and I need to activate that bishop. Plus, this is also supporting one of my E, D, or C pawns, which is great since if they capture one, I will be able to capture back and I have a new C pawn. Okay, well, blunder prevention first, right? They want to win my bishop, but we already have this trick where we knew that we would be going back to b1. And as I just said, if they capture here, which, okay, it happened in the game, I will capture back with the pawn because I try to get a new c pawn. My e pawn, d pawn, and c pawn are really the key players in this game, so that's what I want. I never like it if my opponent has a piece on my side of the board. It's just not smart to allow them to have pieces there because eventually that will lead to troubles. So what I will do is play the move a3. This also follows the CCTO method. Checks, captures, threats. This is a threat. We are threatening to just simply win the knight and the knight has to move. All right, very simple. We fixed it. Okay, and now we are back to this position. We don't really have any checks, captures, or threats that are amazing, but we can optimize, and we can keep optimizing. Queen c2. This was already our plan quite a while back, right? To play this queen and bishop on the same diagonal. All right. They play pawn to a6. Okay, what are they trying to do? We always need to figure this out. Maybe they want to play b5. And then we trade a little bit. And that looks fine. So I don't see any problems. CCTO, we have the O for optimize. The reason that I can do this a little bit more quickly, maybe you will need more time, but I do this a bit more quickly. Why? I mean, the position usually doesn't change that much. It's always that we make a move, they make a move, and then it's our turn again. So most of the time, if you didn't really have any checks, captures, or threats before, the only new checks, captures, or threats that you could have are things that happened because of their last move. And if their last move is something a bit silly, like just moving a pawn, usually the CCT part doesn't change and we just need to optimize. Because remember, I am not trying to beat black. I am just trying to see if they will give me the game away for free. And honestly, I think it's here. I think they just gave away the game. So let's do this together. Checks. Well, we have a checkmate. That doesn't work. This checkmate doesn't work because, well, of course, if I play it, they will simply take with a knight. Okay, so the check doesn't work. Captures, we actually have no captures. Okay. But with the CCTO strategy, it is important if you see something useful like this checkmate, and it's not possible to play it, that you try to see if there is a way that you could maybe force it to happen in your game, but only if the moves that lead up to that point don't risk anything. We don't want to take any risks. We don't want to potentially mess up the game. So I don't see any good checks because this doesn't work. I don't see any captures, but I do see a threat. pawn e4 as a huge threat. It's also following a rule that we want to use these 3 pawns. We have all of them in the center. And this is a huge threat because if they play whatever move, we have e5, which is a fork. This wins as material. If they see it coming and let's say they save their bishop, we are still winning. Because of e5, they have to move the knight, and then that's simply a checkmate. So this is going great. The reason that I know that this plan exists is 1, using CCTO. 2, this is the opening I always play. This is the Pegasus system opening. If you want to learn more about this, you can always go to pegasuschess.com. This is my opening I always play, and it's a very simple plan we have. It's always trying to play e4 and then trying to play e5, and look at what happened. I never really had to do anything. I literally did nothing for most of this game. I just played with these pawns. I improved my pieces a little bit, and like, what are they doing? What are they doing? This is just a fork. But of course, the game was lost anyways. Even if they didn't play g6. Yeah, I showed it to you. They are always losing pieces. So yeah, we have our first mistake. They give us away a knight in exchange for a pawn. And trust me, this will happen in your games as well. So this is great. All right, very good. Now, what do? We have to stay calm. We don't suddenly want to go all in, sacrifice, risk it, because the moment that we are up at least 2 points of material, which is the case here, we got a knight for a pawn. Now we have a new strategy. Instead of trying to finish off the opponent with some ruthless attack, I am looking to trade. I want to trade as much as possible and play for the endgame. Okay. CCTO checks. Wow, this would be a check. We could give away the queen. Captures. This would be a capture. There is also rook takes e6. I don't know. Maybe there is actually a brilliant move here with rook takes e6. And then queen takes g6. This actually might be the case. I usually don't play recklessly like this, but I think here it might actually work. Because this is a check. Yeah, what do they do, right? If they go to the corner, that's checkmate, remember? Or b1 bishop is the hero in this game. And if they play bishop g7, well, this is another check. And this is another check. The knight gives another check. Like, what's going on here? This king is just going for a walk, and I think eventually they will lose all of their pieces. So I think we have a winning sacrifice. The way that I was able to find this is, again, doing CCTO. And very important, a lot of you watching will be thinking like, wait a minute, he said we shouldn't attack, and he is completely destroying the opponent with an attack. Yes, but look at how I did this. This is high-level chess. I didn't force an attack in a position where there was nothing. I waited until there was something. I waited for them to make a mistake. And now the attack just comes naturally. And this is how very strong chess players play. They don't force an attack very early in the game. They play natural moves. They try to avoid mistakes. And they just keep their eyes open to see when there is a attack or a threat or a checkmate that they can do. So I think this is genius. We got this move, knight e5 with a check, and we pick up that bishop exactly like we calculated. It's also very simple to find good moves in these positions, because all you need to do is, again, CCT, check, capture, threat, check, capture, threat, and this will usually help us to find the winning move. So this king, I mean, if this king is not checkmated in like 1 or 2 moves, I don't know what's going on. They are completely surrounded. They don't have a single square that they can go to, which means that if we can give them a check, that's the game. So all I need to do is see if we can give them a check. There's only one check we could play, which is pawn c5, which they can take, which I can take, and then they move the king. Yeah, probably there is something there, but I don't see it yet. There's also this check that we can do with the knight, which actually forces us to trade pieces. So yeah, since we are up material, let's do this. Might maybe not be the sharpest way to find a quick checkmate, but a trade is good for us because we are still up 2 points of material here. All right. What are they trying to do? Maybe some type of counterattack? It doesn't really matter. Let's just move the queen. Oh, I could also take the pawn, but I like to have my queen close by because there will be something here. Okay, and now it's just back to CCTO. Checks, captures, threats. I think if there is no checkmate here, I would be very surprised. Pawn takes c5 with a check. Um, let's see. Let's see. I don't see a checkmate yet. I do want to activate my rook. Eventually we will get there. Okay, yeah, they are just randomly sacrificing. I think the bot realizes that there is nothing that they can do. In these positions, what I often like to do as well, if you don't find like a quick checkmate, is play a move like this. Queen to d5, which this basically forces a queen trade. But when you are up material, and we are up 7 points of material right here, when you are up material, the most important thing that we could do is trade. Every time we trade, we take away one of their pieces, and by taking away their pieces, we basically take away all of their hope, because they don't have anything left that they can use to try to win, which that's the plan for us. I'll see if we can maybe trade his knight. Yeah, that's great. We can trade a knight. Okay, that's good. And now all they have left is this rook. So this is now just an endgame. I don't think I have to really show you how you need to win this endgame, because I mean, we are just up 7 points of material. The plan here is to see if we can trade rooks. That would be great. If we cannot trade rooks, we should be checking this king away, so it has to move, so that we can use that passed pawn. That's basically the strategy. I will play a little bit further just to see what the quickest way is. I can teach you to win these endgames, but these should be quite simple. All right, so that's plan one. Trading that rook it's quite unlikely that we will be able to trade this rook. So what I should try to do instead is see if there is any square where I could try to go. That's what I'm looking at. Any square where I could go, maybe this way, that I can check away the king. Because I want to check away the king so that I can start using that pawn. All right, that's what I am about to do. Yeah, and we move the pawn. And basically, we just want to get the pawn up the board more and more and more, and that is how we will win the game. We are even at a point here where I can give away my pawn. It doesn't matter anymore. We just need to check away the king so that we can move, and we want to make a queen. So this is the endgame strategy and these positions. You just want to force yourself into a promotion. This rook move is a good move by them because they are stopping the promotion. So yeah, I need to prepare a little bit. I think I will need to I was actually going to activate my rook so I can try to trade and support this. But yeah, they just take, that's fine, that's a trade. And now I think this should be incredibly easy. I don't have to show this. Pick up the pawns, do a checkmate, incredibly easy. Please try out this strategy in one of your games and drop a comment to let me know how it went.